Let's begin.
Here we go! Hi, everybody!
Start the insanity.
You are not worried, are you?
Me? No.
We're waiting.
Hello, welcome to Super Media All Stars. We are a weekly podcast, and today we are talking movies. We have 4 other All Stars joining me today. First one being Jake Boston.
You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too.
Anthony Borich. Brent Harris.
Take it.
And returning guest star, Kevin Jensen.
I'm back, bitches. How do I follow Brent? That's not nice.
Great intro as always. Today we have a good episode. We got some few new news stories to cover. We all saw It last night, first opening night, so we're going to review some of our impressions from that, and then we'll end with some trivia. All Stars, how are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. We are a frisky bunch tonight.
There we are.
We haven't even started drinking heavily.
I have.
Well, we usually record on a Thursday, and tonight is Friday, so maybe we're all Friday night frisky. Is that a thing?
It might
Fuck
be a
it
thing.
Friday.
You didn't put a hashtag in front of that, John, so I'm not sure if it actually exists.
Ooh, I'll start doing that.
Ooh, fisting Friday, eh?
I did say fisting Friday.
We know.
Oh, I said that.
All right, before we jump in the news, I want to ask everybody, what's everybody watching these days?
I've got a couple things. I don't know if you want to
Yep, go ahead.
for it.
deep dive into this, but
No.
I have 7 things. I have 7 different things that I've watched. I will go into 2 of them. The first one, Silicon Valley Season 4. A little birdie gave me a password to HBO Now, and I binged all of Silicon Valley Season 4 in a week.
Yep.
It was good shit. Mike Judge, always good. Season 4, one of the best. Definitely not one of the worst.
Does it have some King of the Hill humor in there?
Of course it does.
There's
Good.
dicks out on tables.
Has anybody over here seen Silicon Valley at all?
No,
I have.
Yeah,
no.
just 1 and 2. First 2 seasons, yeah.
Okay. It's good stuff, though.
It's been good.
It's very good. I guess the last thing I will say is American Horror Story Cult. Has anybody watched that? The first episode.
Too many clowns?
No.
Too many clowns.
I've
Not-
seen all the other ones, but I've
I-
not started Cult yet. I want to.
Yeah,
Too
I
many
watched 2 episodes of Hotel.
Ugh,
And,
don't.
and I stopped because
Yeah.
I could not. Once the scene where they're all like the 4 people are in bed,
Yeah.
it's like this is stupid.
Hotel is awful. Don't.
So
it only gets
so was
good.
Coven.
Yeah, that was hard to get through.
Coven is better than Hotel.
Loved Kevin.
You guys watch anything else?
The Wire. I've just finished season 2. I think there's 5 seasons.
Yep.
Season 2 I liked better than season 1, although the ending of season 2 is kind of depressing.
It keeps on getting better and better. Season 5 is my favorite.
Fantastic. Glad to hear it.
I just started season 7 of Game of Thrones, trying to catch up to the rest of the world.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, get ready to wait 1.5 years until the next season comes. This is a
so
horrible
good.
time to catch
I'm
up.
okay with
Parse
that.
it out 1 episode a month.
I'm okay. I mean, I have no problem waiting.
You've waited this long to watch season 7.
Exactly. So
So I'm watching season 4 of The Simpsons, going back through all the old classics.
Hell
And then I am falling in love with watching every South Park on TV right now because they're getting ready for the new season. So they're
Season
playing,
20. Cannot wait.
They are playing all 250 in a row.
The only thing recently that I've been watching, besides a lot of stupid kids shows,
Of course.
I recently watched the movie Shoot 'Em Up again.
I haven't seen that, but I remember loving it with Clive Owen. It's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half solid cartoon where it's ridiculousness, and I actually kind of enjoyed it again the second time.
Clive Owen kills somebody with a
With
carrot.
That's
Yep.
and that's in the first 2 minutes.
I know.
Sounds like Roger Rabbit.
Have you not seen this movie?
No,
Brant?
I'm
Oh.
thoroughly confused.
You should see that. It's very.
It's on HBO right now.
Yeah.
Watch it.
all right, so let's jump right into the news. First one being Star Wars / Marvel is leaving Netflix. That's kind of a big loss for Netflix, but for, good news for Disney as they're claiming to be starting their own streaming service. Do we want another streaming service?
No,
This-
screw this.
This is horrible news for everybody. except Disney.
What's going to be left on Netflix? I mean, they're pulling all Disney now.
No.
Star Wars
With Disney doing
Marvel.
Disney is Star Wars.
I
and
know,
Marvel.
but I'm just saying.
So-
With Disney doing, I mean, the Netflix originals like Daredevil, Defenders. Thank God it's going to stay on
Fuck
Netflix,
that.
guys. I feel like this is going to start a trend. CBS All Access is already like, oh hey, do you want to watch Star Trek? Here, you can only watch it on CBS All Access.
Yeah, but CBS has never been on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like they've never given distribution rights to anybody but themselves.
But I will bet you guys all the money in the world that this Disney streaming service will have its own Star Wars series. I can bet you right now.
As a hook to get people into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's a good way to draw interest, and I'm sure they'll have a new Marvel series, and I'm sure they'll have, you know, if I'm of the opinion that if they release all their classics on it, it'd be fantastic. Like if they put their classics on a streaming service that I can watch at any time without having to go out and look for fucking diamond editions. I have a daughter. She's 2.5. Guess what she likes? Fucking Disney movies.
Me too.
You don't have a daughter.
No,
No,
he
I just
he
like the
does. He
Disney
likes
movies.
He abducted a random girl.
Let's watch Disney together. What the fuck? Right in my cover.
Dude, watch out! I have Tangled. he owns it without. He owns it.
Of course I do.
Netflix being huge as it is already, do they actually take a loss from this at all? Do you think they lose subscription, or people just keep it and add Disney?
Might be an opportunity to start checking out others like Hulu.
You don't do a Hulu already?
No.
I mean, I keep doing
This-
the free trial on a different email like the rest of the
So
world.
you're
but-
the problem.
Yeah.
This is the awful part of subscription-based services because cable, everybody's ditching because it's way too expensive. All they need is Netflix and Hulu. But over time, they're going to need Netflix, Hulu. If they like Star Wars, a new series on Disney. If they want Star Trek, CBS All Access. There's just going to be branching out into a whole bunch of shit. And it's going to cost just as much as cable, if not more.
Well, even like FX already puts their stuff on there too. Like they have their own streaming service with all the Simpsons
FXX.
episodes and
Yeah.
Love
and a
that.
bunch of stuff. It's fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
In this eventual Disney streaming service, how much of it do you think they just go crazy on their library and just start opening tons of things up?
Well, starting off, Disney said they're going to have over 500 movies
Ugh.
launching.
I honestly think that if they get the subscribers that they're expecting, they'll do certain things like, oh, guess what? We put Cinderella on for a freaking month, or oh, here's Lion King. Watch that for a month.
See, that would
they
be
can do releases like that because it's all their property.
Like limited exclusive time frames to watch these movies.
Exactly.
that'd be a selling point for me to even get it though, rather than an incentive after I already have it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe we still don't know the business model. Do
Despite Jake's Steelbook collection, people are going to prefer to start watching things and owning things digitally. So I think that's an eventual point where everyone's going to get to.
Yeah, I'm the last of a dying breed. I already know that. Every Marvel Disney movie that I like, I already own. So I
Right.
wouldn't really need this unless
No.
it has original
When it
content.
comes out, $30 a pop when it first releases. Who wants to pay for that?
I do. I love it.
we? Disney already does stuff like when they bring stuff out of the vault and it's only out of the vault for
They still do that. They just
to
did that
this
for
day-
Lion
yeah,
King.
to this day they
Again.
still do that.
Yep.
All right, so along the lines of Disney, we got our first look at Snoke. Is that how it's pronounced?
Snoke.
Snoke, yeah.
Yeah. On a trading card of all things. Like it gives him a graphic and he looks like an old man with a scar down his head.
So who else can picture John wearing this?
That
I
cardigan?
totally
That's
can.
what I said. I love cardigans and Snoke's wearing a sweet cardigan, some Sith cardigan, but
I'm sorry. Are there no sweet cardigans? I mean, all cardigans are sweet,
Like
right?
I thought the CGI was bad in 7. Like actually seeing him, what his physical form is like, I am not impressed at all.
yeah, but hopefully
It
they
was
give
just a hologram though.
In 7, that's not. The trading card isn't.
What, you saying this is bad?
Yeah, he's saying
Yeah,
that.
I don't like that at all. That's not
Hopefully-
menacing in the least.
Hopefully in the movie it looks more. If that's your
From what I've heard from Ryan Johnson, the director of 8, possibly 9, this is supposed to be the emperor of this new trilogy. That doesn't invoke fear into me at all.
Wait,
that
it-
looks
it-
like a fucking nerd.
So did Sidious to you?
What's that?
Did Darth Sidious invoke fear to you?
I mean, nothing beats the emperor at all
don't think any-
from the
Except-
original trilogy.
Except for apparently Vader just holding him up and throwing him.
yeah, but until that point.
Well,
until that point.
to your point though, Brent, I don't think Star Wars has ever struck fear in anybody. At least not today's generation.
No, like I thought he was.
I don't know.
Okay.
Jar Jar was pretty fucking scary.
I'll
Turns
take
out
that
to be
back.
Jar Jar.
Boom, Jar Jar.
I'll take that back. The Emperor, I took seriously.
There you
I
go.
can't take that guy seriously at all.
It's just a picture.
Yeah, but it's not invoking any confidence into me.
So you're gonna have to see him in action, do some dark
I
stuff.
don't even know
Exactly.
if you need to
I
see
need
him in
to
action. You just need to see him do something besides talk down to someone.
Right.
I need a Grievous move where he's
Oh, please.
swinging
No,
no,
four
no, no,
lightsabers.
no,
no, certainly don't.
See,
start
don't
this.
go back to like first 3 episodes where they're like fucking Superman with lightsabers.
I need a Heisenberg move out of that motherfucker. That's for damn
Yeah,
sure.
no, that'd be good.
Yeah.
What if he like forcefully uses the Force to make like a child kill his parents?
That'd be great.
Okay,
Yeah. I just need to see something.
that's how episode 8 starts.
He's throwing it down the prediction right now.
Yup, calling it.
All right. Our last subject for the news is James Bond distribution license. It's pretty much for sale, and we've had some bidders kind of be speculated coming up. One of them being Apple, the other one being
Amazon.
Amazon.
What a tangled web this is.
Yeah.
I remember starting with the original, or not the original, the remake of Casino Royale.
Right.
Sony jumped in, and they were able to make that one
Quantum.
and Quantum of Solace. Yeah.
They had a hand, I think, in Skyfall as well,
Yeah.
but it was minor.
It was still distributed by MGM.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it sounds because the creative talent is still going to be there. Like Daniel Craig has confirmed.
I don't know if that's gonna is.
Whoever picks this up is basically just doing it for money, right?
Which I can't believe it's valued at either $2 billion or $5 billion.
It's an
I
old
can't, dude.
franchise. It's an old
Gonna be
franchise.
27
It's a
movies.
lot.
And
It's gonna
the
keep going strong.
Spanning 50 years.
UK puts James Bond on a freaking pedestal, man.
Hashtag Pierce is the best Bond.
No.
you are
No.
fucking wrong.
Get out of this room.
Hey, I'm so happy you all agree with me. Thank you.
Pierce Brosnan, yeah.
Do you think this distribution license starts off with just one movie to test the waters, or do you think they do like a 3 distribution contract?
This will be a one
No.
movie deal just for Craig.
I just hope. I mean, it makes sense that they do one movie for Daniel Craig's last go raw at this thing, but new lead actor. I'm guessing we're gonna get new distribution rights altogether again.
I mean, Spectre made 880 globally.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad
No,
franchise.
Skyfall
to
made
get.
$1 billion though.
Yeah.
Now, I got. Before we go on, I want to ask just 2 questions to everyone, and I want immediate knee-jerk reactions. Best Bond movie, and who do you think is going to play the new Bond?
Who's starting?
I'll start
Favorite Bond movie?
only because I was over Pierce Brosnan and I was at the right age. I love the Casino Royale reboot.
I think it's gonna be all of her.
That hit
No.
the right
Yeah.
notes for me. I don't
No?
get me wrong. I love the old ones. Like they're okay for the times. The over the top like gadgets that now seem really weird. No, new Bond reboot just hit all the right notes for me.
A lot of us just rewatched all of the Bond movies before we watched Spectre.
Yep.
Casino Royale is by far the best Daniel Craig movie.
Yep, I'll give you
And
that.
I'll give you recency bias. That's what I'm going off of. Casino Royale I've seen 3 times and it's been great 3 times that I've seen it.
I've seen all of them multiple times. I grew up with them. My dad got me into them a long ass time ago. My all time favorite Bond movie is From Russia with Love, and it's because all of the Bond tropes that seem ridiculous and crazy all originated in that movie. All of them.
Favorite. See, Skyfall's up there because of the villain. Like that guy just was awesome to me.
Yeah, but that's
agree.
the best
But-
part by far. of
Yeah,
that movie.
and but like for Casino Royale, like kind of what John said was growing up with GoldenEye, and that was pretty much it because we had that, and I watched that a lot.
that was not it. Don't forget the world is not enough. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
Tomorrow
No, I've
Never
seen
Dies,
those,
Another
but
Dies,
those are
we,
awful.
the only one we owned was GoldenEye, and
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen that like 100 times.
Gotcha.
And then
that's
Casino,
close for me.
yeah.
I love
Then
GoldenEye.
Casino Royale came out. I remember being in the movie theaters in that opening scene where he's chasing that guy across like the crane in the construction site.
Awesome.
I climaxed like 6 times in that because it just did so much
Oh, yeah.
more for me. Than
I didn't
any-
know what parkour was
Yeah.
before that.
Oh my god!
And you're also
It was great.
And you're just coming from Pierce Brosnan movie, who
Right.
If you ever watch that last movie, he did like there's barely any stunts for him to pull off.
Yeah.
It's all CGI and it's all
Right.
trash.
So
Yeah.
bad.
So I want to say Goldeneye, but I've got to go with the one that I watched with my dad over and over, and it still holds up to my favorite theme of Bond, and it's Goldfinger.
Yeah, man, dude, that's
It's a good one.
God, I
Everyone
love
picks
that
that
one.
as classic for the Connery
I love
scene,
it.
but yeah, I mean it's great. but-
Solid movie.
What's the one where he goes I guess Christmas does come twice a year.
Oh, that's it's world is not enough, and he says, I'm guessing Christmas is going to come early this year.
Oh, that's it.
Because of the scientist, Christmas Jones.
Because what's her face?
Yeah.
Who is it? Denise Richards
Yep.
played a nuclear physicist.
Oh God.
So bad.
She couldn't
So
say
bad.
nuclear physicist.
What was your second question?
Who's going to play the new Bond?
All right, guys, thoughts?
I think
That's tough.
No, I have a good answer right now. If they shoot it in the next couple years,
Okay, I was gonna go.
Well,
off
I'm
that
assuming
too.
they would. I'm assuming they're going to have the same amount of time, so 3 years.
Tom Hiddleston.
That's
was
who
just
gonna
about to say
damn
him.
it.
Boom, 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 boom. Good thing I said it first, because I think he would be amazing.
Oh,
That's
Tom
fine.
Hiddleston would be a good Bond.
Or Tom Hardy.
You
No,
don't
I
like
don't
it?
think Tom
No,
Hardy.
Tom Hardy, no way.
Loki?
Yeah, Loki.
Yeah, Loki.
would play Bond.
I've heard that, but
Isn't he too old now?
I don't see the action part for me.
He's not too old now.
Yeah,
if they
he
shoot
can
it
do,
in the next
he can
couple
do
of
Bond
years,
action. He doesn't have to be Daniel Craig. That's the thing. Daniel Craig has the
No.
body and the muscle for it.
exactly. He's a big muscular Bond. He's like
He'd
one
be
of the
more
first.
like he'd be more like
a classic
Lazenby.
Bond. Yeah,
It'd be a good mix.
What about Fassbender?
I can see Fassbender.
he's way older than. No,
Daniel
no way.
Craig's almost 50.
No, I'm saying that
Sorry,
Fassbender
age
is-
has no
Fassbender is older than Hiddleston.
Hiddleston.
I think Hiddleston would be a better choice for that.
Could they go-
Hiddleston could play at least 3 movies.
But watching
of Bond.
Hiddleston and Kong after seeing him in Loki, his character doesn't. I don't know. His acting doesn't do much for me.
He's had some real stinkers.
Yeah.
Well, I still like him in Kong.
I
though.
don't.
I
I
did.
thought it was bad. I thought anybody could have played him.
So what's your choice, John?
I think it's gonna be somebody I don't know, and they're gonna go young.
Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, it's gonna be
It's Tom
Come on.
Holland, guys. It's Tom Holland.
No, there's always
No.
some British actor who comes from nowhere, and they just always surprise me. Like that's half the new Star Wars cast. That are all British actors.
Yeah.
So perfect. Could we go African American Bond, or could we
Oh,
go woman Bond?
we're gonna-
You can
So
do whatever the
Gillian
fuck you
Anderson.
want.
I don't think Gillian Anderson's way too old.
Way too old.
And if you're gonna say Idris Elba's way too old
I
too.
was gonna say
He
that
would have
one
been
next.
great.
He would have been fantastic if you're gonna go that way.
Yep.
I think
10 years ago, he would have
the
been fantastic.
people that have been in the is that Black
David.
Panther? Mm-hmm. Yep. Guy played Black Panther. Black
he's
Panther could
he's
do
a
it.
little busy at the moment.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna be in that MCU for quite some time.
All right, let's jump to our next section, and the one we're probably the most excited about, and that is our It impressions.
You'll float too.
Just as a warning, we'll be talking spoilers if it pertains to you, because I would say most of your audience has either read the book, because Stephen King has a huge following, or seen the 90s miniseries that came out almost 20 years ago. No, it was
89.
Yeah.
Tim Curry for life.
So, that being said, everything else from here forward will be kind of spoiler material.
Everyone dies. Shit.
So that being said, before we go into
said spoil it first.
before we go into the details of this movie, what was the general opinion you guys left after your first viewing?
I felt like I watched a movie of Stranger Things. I've been reading a bunch of these reviews online, and they wonder if it can attest to how much hype it's gotten because of Stranger Things. And it really did. Like, one of the actors was in it. It had a Stranger Things feeling. I'm not fighting that. I think it's great, but I feel like I watched a 2.5 hour episode of Stranger Things.
Stranger Things definitely helped the popularity of this movie. That's no doubt. But
it's
when
80s nostalgia now.
when I finished this movie, I thought more of Stand By Me than I did Stranger Things.
yeah,
I really
well,
did.
yeah, you're
another Stephen King movie, but yeah, very similar.
Well, and the book, if you've, I don't know who's all read the book. The big thing I took away from it when I was reading it when I was an impressionable teenager was that it wasn't a horror story. It was straight up just a coming of age story. It's a these kids bonding over the horrifying thing that they have to face, and then doing it again 27 years later.
Which worked well for you?
In the book, yeah, the book worked fantastic for me. It's been a high point of my reading experience, even though I read it when I was like 15.
But so is it fair to say that everybody walked away enjoying this movie?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Nobody was disappointed, correct?
this new movie was very solid. That's for sure.
it got a little cartoony towards the end,
Okay.
but for me anyway. But I walked away pleasantly surprised.
Let's dive into the story. What happens between these characters? How it pertains to the overall world? Character actions. We have a huge cast here. mostly, 7 members of the Losers Group?
Losers Club.
Losers Club.
I think the proper name is Losers Club, John.
I think starting beginning this movie, the movie does a good job of introducing these characters one by one basis, and you get a good sense of very diverse personalities here. Would you guys agree? Personality wise,
Yeah.
you have a good range of personality
Yeah.
here
I mean,
for a friend group.
They all had a range of struggles. Obviously Bev probably having the worst.
Let's take this very quickly, character by character, and just kind of before we dive into actors, let's talk about the characters they play.
You have the list, so please
Yeah,
tell us.
I'll
'Cause
give you guys cues.
I loved all the characters in this movie, but I can't remember any of their names. I remember like the way they looked. I remember what their aspects were.
Yeah.
But their names just kind of jumbled for me.
All right, so we have William/Bill, who is our leader of the Losers Club.
Okay.
He's the first character we see with his little brother at the beginning of the movie.
He
He was
stutters.
great.
He's a stutterer.
Yeah, but he was
and,
great.
And the thing
Yeah.
is, they play that up in it. Like in the book, he loses his stutter when they beat it the first time. Like he straight up loses it.
Right.
And
He doesn't
he-
need it anymore because he has confidence.
He lost his stutter when he was talking about his
brother.
brother. Exactly. Yeah.
And they make note of it, so
Yeah.
they put little things in the movie that fed back into the book pretty well.
Yeah, I think Bill's character shows a good progression. That's kind of what I want from any lead character, some character development.
The best part about this movie by far was the casting of these kids.
Yeah.
Because I loved
agree.
each and every one of them. I didn't think any of them were out of bounds.
When you cast kids well as kids, your movie is
Yeah.
that much better.
You done good.
That happened for Super 8.
Yeah.
It happened for Goonies. It happened for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The kids are all kids.
Yeah.
Right.
When
And Bill's character works extra well because he loses his brother, which is a big life trauma. Especially like that can mess anybody up. But then you find out there's a monster involved.
Well, and he feels
Bill,
guilty.
Yeah, Bill steps up character wise. He has a big emotional kind of scene at the end of the movie where he has to mentally say goodbye to his brother. And all that worked so well for me.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
All right, so let's move on to our next character, and that's Ben. He's the new kid in town. We first meet him with his little display, and he's walking and he's dropping it.
No, the
No,
new
new
kids,
kids.
the new kids on the block segments were
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
they only
it
did
was
it
funny.
twice, but both times they were great.
She opens the door.
Yep.
That was great.
That was a
That was so good.
It was pretty great.
He
Yeah.
takes
I did love his character.
Ben,
Yeah.
the kid that played him was fantastic, and
Yeah.
and his character development was awesome.
Did anybody get heavyweight vibe from that kid? Like he looked like the kid
Well-
from Heavyweights.
Well, yeah, but if I had
A little bit.
if Stephen King was a character in one of his books, I feel like Stephen King would have been that kid.
Oh no!
I really do.
he
No,
would-
I
he
really
would-
do.
He would have wanted to be Bill, but he would have been
No,
Ben.
exactly. He would have wanted to be Bill, but he would have been this kid, the kid that can write well to swoon the ladies, but the lady didn't want him in the end.
Yeah, didn't want him at all.
Exactly.
And he was the most like
Knowledgeable.
knowledgeable and maybe even most intelligent.
Oh,
That kid was
I would
awesome.
say. That
Yeah.
kid was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, into Ben's personality, you think his character growth comes from him wanting to impress Bev, or do you see another deeper progression in him outside of trying to impress basically a girl?
Well, he was the only kid that cared about the history of the town they were in.
Yeah.
That's true, but he did that because he even
He
says
did it because he was alone.
yeah
Yeah.
he's a book reader.
He does that with every town he goes to.
Right.
Like he moves a lot.
I don't think we ever got a justification to why he moves a lot, did we?
I don't think so.
No, I don't.
I didn't
well,
need
if
one.
they said it, I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, but that backstory is absolutely not necessary.
Right. I think it's good for Ben's character because, as far as progression, because the whole him digging into Bev created some great moments.
Exactly. Like when, like spoilers during all this, when Bev is floating in like the very end scene, he's the one who kisses him, who he thinks like brings her back to life, that type of shit.
Right, but that works. And then
Yeah, no, it was all good.
I really like just the aspect that the Losers Club is so opening to other people, and Ben just fits in so well with this group. I loved that
Yeah.
part.
He really does.
Is Ben the only character that we didn't see his parents?
I don't think we did.
Oh, you never even. Oh
He
no,
didn't
Mike's
see. He
parents
didn't
are
see
dead.
Mike's
Yeah, he
parents.
did.
Yeah.
Sorry, they died.
So Mike's the only African American kid in this movie, but he's almost the exact same character as he is in the books. Correct? Would you say?
I believe so.
When the four group of racist kids were like talking at him, I thought
Yeah.
they were doing a whole racial fucking like I hate you, get out of my town type of shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
I thought it was I thought it was totally about the color of his skin. I didn't think anything else about like, oh hey, your parents burned to the ground. I wish you would have burned with them. Which
Whoa.
is what that kid said.
I thought it wasn't
You
racial.
know, I'm pretty sure it was.
I was gonna
racial.
say.
The whole thing.
But they
was-
didn't. They didn't out.
Well,
they
they
didn't
didn't
say it
say-
out loud.
No,
They
they,
really
didn't,
didn't.
they didn't throw any racial slurs around, but he said, "Get out of my goddamn town."
Yeah.
They did.
And I said, "I wish I was the one that burnt down your house with
Yeah.
with you inside
Yeah.
of it."
That kid was the most cartoonish thing in this movie.
Which
the
one?
the main guy whose dad was a cop.
Henry Bauer.
Yeah, he was the most cartoonish person.
All right, so
It's-
let's
yeah.
let's bring it
Out of
back.
all of
Let's
this.
let's bring it back to Mike here. So
Sorry.
Mike's character, his biggest fear to overcome this is pretty much he's seen his parents burn. He saw their
Yeah,
hands.
horrible.
That's messed up.
So bad.
I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. When I first saw the scene, where the first thing we see him in is he's got to put a hole in the goat's head.
Sheep. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, he does it. But I was not knowing the source material that well. I was kind of I was expecting him to become this character who I don't want to be the guy who puts the hole in the goat's head, but he ends up doing it. He does it out of necessary.
I think it's back to
you
what-
expect him to be sheepish?
Yeah,
Sorry, did it?
pun of the night.
Did it?
So let's go ahead and transition into Bev. Then we meet her in the first scene of the girls' bathroom, and she is
She gets garbage dumped on her face.
right, playing very much like the girl victim here.
Yeah. Out of all the kids, out of all this, I felt the worst about Bev.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh my god, you did?
No. I think he means.
Wait.
He meant he felt the worst for her character.
But her character, like you said, probably has the darkest past story here. Her dad being the psychosexual figure who,
I'm really glad they didn't actually delve into it because they alluded to it in the book, I believe, as well.
yeah,
And they never really flat out say that
Yes.
he's doing the
Even when-
nasty to her. But you could, I mean,
Even
you
when they
infer
start
it.
to it,
but
they
they
quickly
even,
end.
yeah,
it.
they even have
Yeah.
they have a key sentence in there saying, "Are you?" He even says, "Are you still my little girl?" Which is like a trigger to, for her and him to say, "You're not going to go past this point until later in the film."
Bev
But-
was my favorite, no matter what, whether it be like the struggle she went through or the type of torture Pennywise put her through. Bev in general was my favorite
I think she was.
throughout this entire movie.
Did you notice that? Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but she was the only character who we saw two fears stem from Pennywise that the movie's shown. One being the blood because of what she's going through.
Oh, yeah.
And then the final scene being her dad.
Yeah.
You see
Like,
you see
yeah.
her dad's face come from the clown.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't
she
think
is.
I don't think we saw any other characters have multiple fears.
Well, because no other characters in this movie have periods, John.
I know, but I think,
got a point.
That's
yeah.
it.
I think it's just interesting to say that the character who has pretty much almost the worst background also goes into has more than one fear.
What I really liked about Bev though was just the way the actor or the character was portrayed in the movie. She knew the reputation that she had, and she exploited it when she needed to.
Sure.
Which I mean,
And-
like I think it gives her power, but it also lets you know that she knows what she's doing, and she also knows that everything that's going on to her is not her fault.
I think Bev's character was one of the best parts of this film because you see her deal with a very awkward phase that all the characters are kind of going through essentially, and then her interactions with all the boys. It's so well done. I like how she can have the darkest scene, almost the darkest scenes of the movie, and then some of the best scenes are when she's being flirtatious with Ben. Essentially, I just love that contrast. She plays it off well.
Yeah, I think it fits perfectly with what she's gone through and her maturity level compared to the other kids. Like she's like 14, 15, but her maturity level is like 19, 20.
Because it has to be. Okay, let's move on to our next character here, and that's going to be Richie, the boy from Stranger Things.
Gotcha. That's how I know him.
Let's call him the comedy relief of
He's
this film.
mouth basically.
Yeah, he curses a lot.
Yeah, did that work for you guys? Did his comic relief?
His relationship with Eddie was amazing for me. Like where he's
Okay,
always
I
like,
did like that.
yeah, he was always talking about like Eddie's mom's vag and
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's
the
always-
mom
his
jokes,
penis
yeah,
and
he's always talking about his dick size and
A lot of the early jokes in the film, I laughed because of him.
yeah,
That's for damn sure.
yep, absolutely.
His character is always making jokes, but that comes from a place where he doesn't want people to know too much about him.
He doesn't want to know that he's super afraid of clowns.
He's got the hard shell around him.
He sure
He
does.
uses humor
and
and
he uses humor and swearing and your mom jokes to
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, that
Definitely
term's
me.
called where you push your problems onto other people.
Yeah.
projecting.
Projecting. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think the character itself, from the source material, hits it right on the nose.
It hits it right in the nose, but he's still my least favorite kid in that movie.
All right, let's move on to our next character, and that's going to be Stan. And Stan is the Jewish kid of the group. We get to know his problem basically stemming from his Jewish beliefs. He's coming of age, and he's got to go through his rite of passage.
Bar mitzvah.
Yeah, and that's his intro to his character essentially.
Yeah, and I think his big conflict is he can't impress his parents, right? Like he
dad's
can't-
a rabbi.
he
Yeah, his
can't-
dad's a
he-
rabbi.
He can't live up to his dad's expectations, and I think that's what stems it.
Right.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's literally
That's
all he
all
had for
that
character.
Right, that's
ties
on the
into.
lighter side of the point.
It's all Stan gets. Sorry.
I mean, I'm not.
Well, I mean,
I'm
he's
not-
a pretty
I'm not
basic character.
Let's move on to Eddie here, and Eddie is our hypochondriac of the group. It's kind of stemming from his relationship with his mom.
He was amazing.
I
I
love-
liked that
That
kid
kid
a
was
Hands
lot.
down, this was my favorite
That kid-
character
that
in
kid
the
was
movie.
The
fantastic.
Your favorite.
The
right.
character itself was awesome because he plays somebody who has a smart mouth. He appears to be very knowledgeable based off what he has been given in his life situation with his mom.
What's he
I
say?
thought Eddie- I
It's
thought he was
piss and shit.
fantastic.
And I'm not getting piss shit on my shoes.
So I think
He
was really good.
He was funny, and that kid that played him
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Trying
Oh
to-
god, and when he's talking about AIDS and stuff like that, you know that like 98% of people
They can chop off arms,
Yeah,
and
he
they chop off legs. And
how do you guys chop off a guy at the waist?
Yeah, no, but at the very end where they all like
Yeah,
cut their hands
right.
and hold hands, I'm like, this is not the start of
no,
AIDS.
right
you
out
don't
the
talk
door.
about this.
Right out
well,
the
no,
door.
I think that's part of his character progression because at the beginning of the movie he's a very hypochondriac,
Oh yeah,
That's
and
true.
then by the end of the movie he's gone through disgusting sewers,
Yep.
and then he's holding blood hands with this packed group of friends.
good point.
he gets the courage when he realizes that they're gazebos, though.
Right.
Well, Andy's covered in slime after he fights Pennywise.
Oh
fucking-
god, his takes right in the
But
face.
I mean, that was his fear playing out. His main interaction with Pennywise was the leper, right? And you don't even know he's a leper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with all
okay,
the
it-
maggots on him and
Yeah,
everything.
I had to
I
figure-
hated that.
It took me a while for me to click, like, why is that his fear? I'm like, oh, it's a leper.
It's a leper, yeah.
Gotcha.
And you know what it takes for it to click for you is he says, "I encountered a leper."
Yes.
right.
It's like,
well,
Well, especially because in the age of zombies, like that would have passed for a zombie.
oh yeah,
So
because
that's-
they had like a giant ass club foot.
yeah.
Had like an elephant foot.
well, lepers tend to lose their limbs, so
Oh.
that's
Probably had a big old club foot, like
Yeah.
literally a club foot.
right. One more character we're going to dive into, and that's just because he's part of the antagonist side, and that's Henry Bowers. He plays the essential bully in this movie.
I think it's that kid was literally had a string of like psychological stability.
Yeah, like
And it-
carving the H into.
Yeah,
He-
no,
he
that's
was
what I'm saying. Like
definitely-
with his relationship with his father.
Oh, yeah.
Pennywise just literally took a small pair of scissors and cut it, and that
know.
kid went fucking psycho.
His father was a cop and fucked up, like shooting shit
Right,
around him,
yeah.
like
That-
totally
yeah,
scaring his kid.
You're saying if you weren't hearing voices at that point, like you wouldn't just do it?
Like I
think
totally
you're-
get that.
I think you're missing a point here, though. When you say there's lack of progression here, we see a progression in the sense that he builds himself up to be this big bully, and for the 75% of the movie, we see him be this big tough guy. That right before he gets taken over by it, you see him break down
In front of his
Yeah,
dad.
because of his
Yep.
dad.
And
Because
his dad,
of his
and
dad.
his,
His
and his
dad's
dad
his
straight up
fear.
says,
This
you
is
know,
this is really him.
This is him, guys. Like,
Yeah.
here, your
You want to
friends.
follow him?
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
so
dumb.
It's not progression, but it's a sense of character development. I would still say.
Oh yeah,
I think you think it's cartoonish just because that type of bully has been done before.
most
where he-
definitely. Yeah,
You mentioned Stand By Me. That kid is basically Kiefer Sutherland in
yeah.
Stand By Me.
Yeah, I know.
And that's like I said, it's a very typical Stephen King bully.
Oh yeah.
But you don't see too many movies that play a bully who knifes an H into
Yeah.
a kid's stomach.
That
Like,
was
part was
You
disturbing.
do in Stephen
Fuck.
King movies and books.
Yeah, that part was disturbing for me. Just 'cause,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's going pretty far.
A kid who's
Gotta
had
cover his whole name.
a kid who's had enough and just doesn't fucking care.
Right.
And just does whatever he thinks about.
But I still think they did such a great job with it.
I thought
breaking him.
I thought they did a great job breaking him.
Yeah.
But they didn't do a very good job after they broke him.
That's
Like,
fair.
Yeah, like
And I
him
think that's what we talked.
just
we're
falling
talking
down
about.
the well and dying, just like
Yeah,
oh,
but he
okay.
crumpled like a rag doll, and that was
No,
fantastic.
it was really good.
I
Just-
actually liked his dad.
I thought his death was great.
Plus, him and his dad. God, that
Yeah.
was so sweet.
No, him killing his dad was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Him like dying down the well, it was very good.
All right, so this last, you can't call it a person, but we're gonna call it. It
It.
is a demon monster.
Pennywise.
Pennywise,
Yeah.
Call him Pennywise.
or what's he called? Pennywise the dancing clown.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think of this interpretation of this clown?
Oh, Jake, let me go first. I thought it was better than Tim Curry.
I didn't think it was better than Tim
I thought it
Curry.
was much better than Tim Curry.
I agree
No,
with
not much.
I agree with Kevin here.
The CGI kind of bothered me. Like his eyeballs were either really good or really bad.
Oh no, I
thought it was
his
I thought
eyeballs
it was
never
great.
bothered me.
Yeah.
No, when his eyeballs got cartoonish, they very much bothered me. Like when they were looking off a little bit off
Oh, I
kilter.
think that's part of the clown aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, off kilter they were fine, but when they started like rolling around and like rolling all the way back,
No, I when you're talking like at the end where he's wide eyed and it spins around. Yeah,
I
don't-
hate that.
No,
I hate that.
That was the worst part of that. When he is like, what is he slinking away and moving? Like he slides off the screen and his eyes go white as he slides off
On the
screen.
staircase.
On the
Yeah.
staircase, that was fantastic. But I thought
No.
this actor was way creepier than Tim Curry.
I think Tim Curry is scarier than the Bill Skarsgård version of it in this new movie.
I don't know if it's fair to compare these
It's
two
not at all.
these actors. You're talking
The budget for the '89 one was minuscule, and this one,
Yeah,
was,
and yet I thought the '89 version was more scary than this new one.
I think there's too much of a even with other movie series when you do a reboot of anything.
Yeah.
There's a unfair comparisons between old and new.
No, I will say that the Skarsgård when he was like manipulating his body,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
contorting himself.
When he comes out of like the locker and the
Yeah, that was fucking great,
That was
yeah.
scary shit.
Yeah,
where like at the very
Yep.
end after he's
Yeah.
done, it's like, oh, okay, it's finally done, and then he twists his head around.
Yeah,
I'm like, fucking
and
Jesus.
That's where CGI helped this movie. Little
I agree.
instances like that.
I want to talk about just a couple little things that the actor did, or the producers did, or the director, or whatever, did to really lock this character in for me was the very first scene when he's getting Georgie.
Yeah.
In the old '90s one, which I don't want to keep referencing the old '90s ones because we're
You
not
have
talking
to.
about
No,
that.
you have to.
That scene was okay.
It was all right.
With this scene, you see him drooling
Way better.
and just really wanting
no.
to eat this fucking kid.
Yeah.
And that scene for me was just like, yep, I guess Pennywise is good in this one.
Yeah. The drooling, way better. The eyes just very little off
It's like
kilter.
slightly off, yeah.
Way better. But when his eyes started going like totally like cockeyed crooked, I hated that.
Well, see, the thing is, like, the reason they went cockeyed crooked is because he's losing control of himself. He wants to kill this kid so bad and
Yeah.
eat this kid. You could see when he had control of his character, when he was trying to manipulate people, he was full on
Yeah.
clown.
I mean,
And
it's
when-
not like
when
he
he
just
lost
he's not
control-
just I mean, his jaw extends to
That
get
was
Georgie.
fucking cool.
Like he immediately just starts losing
And
control.
I think
I'm got this kid.
correct me if I'm wrong, but as soon as he gets like that first initial craving for this kid, his eyes go gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little
And
gold,
he-
and they
yeah.
go slightly off kilter because
And
he's not in
that's fine,
control
too.
of his form anymore.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
perfect because
Yeah.
I think that works so well. If you look at this creature, from what we understand the book or from understanding the movie, the kids say an ancient, evil thing that comes around every 27 years. That's
yeah,
the
and
most we get.
the only reason they know that is because all these events happen 27 years apart.
Right.
They have no idea what this thing actually is, and they never do.
Yeah.
Right. And I
They
think
just-
The only reason they know that is because of the new kid. Like he goes through all the
But
history.
yeah, and the
Gary.
whole point, like in the novel, is it doesn't matter what this thing is.
it just matters in the
Because
sense of what
it's
it means
be-
to the kids.
Yeah, it's because it's a coming of age story. It's not. It's what it is for those kids. It's not a certain thing.
Right.
I talked about this with Brent earlier, but me and Brent not have seen the miniseries and not reading the books, but I read some context prior to this movie. That first scene with the kid getting drugged in the sewer, like that,
Fucking amazing,
that
right?
set the tone for this movie being effed
did.
No,
up.
and that scene is way better than
In
the,
this movie
than the original
miniseries.
miniseries.
I
Yeah,
agree.
most definitely. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing that I'm like tiptoeing around. Like, there's some parts in the miniseries that I really liked a lot more than this movie, but it's vice versa. Like, there are a lot more scenes in this movie that I like more than the miniseries.
Yeah, I know that I haven't seen the whole thing, but I know I've seen that scene where he's just like Poppy's like, "Hey, how's it going?" It's
Hiya,
like,
Georgie.
okay,
Yeah,
I'm out of
like
this.
the main thing that scared me as a kid with Tim Curry is that he acted like an actual clown. And this new one, he really doesn't.
No, what he's saying,
He
what
really
he's saying
doesn't.
is he acted like a TV clown in the 80s.
Yeah, like the fucking Bozo, the Super Sunday Show clown.
Yep, he didn't. This one just takes it to a whole nother level where it's not a realistic clown. For
It's-
No, it's
'cause
really
it's
not.
demon.
It's just like, oh, you're scared of clowns? I'm gonna make you really fucked up because of you're scared of clowns.
But like
I don't think that's a bad thing though.
No.
I think
No,
it
it's
works.
not.
It works in this context.
Yeah,
I would literally shit my pants if I was just randomly walking and there's this guy with like 12 balloons and he's just got like that slightly down looking face
Yeah,
at me.
dude, that-
I would literally start sprinting and shitting my pants at the same time.
Bill Skarsgård does a really fucking great performance as Pennywise. I have no complaints about him besides like the CGI that was on his face. Like,
And that's not his fault.
exactly.
Okay,
like
so I think
him,
go ahead.
him as Pennywise He did a very fantastic job.
So let's go ahead and get into this.
Blue John,
let's
I'm
do-
raring to go.
Let's do we gotta keep this quick. Let's talk about the actors who played the roles and how well we thought it fit. Let's start with Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Perfect. I think it's a perfect adaptation.
I thought he nailed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
There's one aspect of this cast of this character, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, the voice. The voice worked for you guys.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
really
Oh,
did.
definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
I was a little,
Especially in that sewer scene with Georgie.
Yeah, especially in the very
Holy
first
fuck.
scene.
It
Yeah,
threw me
no,
off
it
at
was-
first, but I was
Yep.
like, oh god, this is creepy as
It was
fuck.
so good. It was so good.
It
The
was
first
really good.
15 minutes of this movie were damn near
There-
perfect.
I
It,
would
wa-
li-
it was so much tension between like I'm like Georgie, get the fuck
Yeah.
away from
Yeah.
this thing.
It definitely
Look at that
pulls you in.
stupid
Oh
boat.
my
Make
God.
another one. Yeah. I
No
think-
kidding, this did a bad job. I don't
No, I
think.
don't
Yeah.
think so either. Which
Yeah.
is very good.
yeah,
Very good for this
Let's just
movie.
call it that. I think every actor who
Yeah.
played these kids was great. The kid who played Georgie,
Oh, Georgie was fantastic.
that little kid
Yeah.
nails it
he
so
was
well.
fucking
Nails the
adorable.
Very
Yeah.
good.
And then creepy,
And
as,
creepy
hell
as hell.
In that.
That's all that matters.
Yo, fuck
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. Oh man,
I'll never go in a dark basement
Just
ever
shut-
Well,
again by
then
myself.
Pennywise coming up out of the water right next to him. I was like,
man.
fuck yes.
That hit home with me. I forgot to talk about that, but like hearing sounds in the basement and then running like a scared bitch
Fuck
upstairs.
yeah.
I did that all the time as
All
a kid.
the
because your farm's
there would be
creepy
like
as
a
hell.
creak and be like, fuck, fuck this. I'm out of here.
Oh no, this light turned off for no reason.
Oh yeah, even when I was like 13 and had to move to the basement room. Oh man,
Because your sister would turn off the light on
Huge
purpose.
puss.
and
Oh yeah,
she's a-
lock me in the door. Let me out.
yeah. I just thought him in particular, seeing his progression from a little innocent boy to this
Oh.
demonic
Yeah.
toy is
Yeah.
awesome. So
Perfect.
well done.
I can connect with Georgie. When I was younger and went over to my grandparents, I went down to their basement. I was scared because my sister and cousin would always turn off the lights on me. But my grandpa had this old suitcase, and it looked like two glaring eyes, like what Georgie sees at the beginning of the
Well, I think
movie.
that-
And I was like, "Oh my god, that's
That's what works so well
Yeah.
as far as plot wise too, because how many like we all just said it. We've all been in the situation where we've been that kid in the basement and like, oh shit, I'm getting the hell out of here.
95%
Oh, yeah.
of the kids have been scared
Most
of the dark
definitely.
at some point.
Yeah, no, when I moved from like my room with my brother downstairs to my own room in the basement,
Yeah.
holy fuck, there was a lot of different instances where I was very much like, oh my god, I cannot be here right now, but I have to be strong because I'm 12 years old. I'm pretty much an adult already.
I'm a big kid now.
My parents can't know how much of a pussy I am. So I've got to be down here, but I'm
a
shitting my
big
pants.
fucking pussy.
Oh my god. So out of all of us, I'll go individually. What was your guys' like worst kid fear in this movie? Like whose fear as a child was the worst out of all of these?
So the one that happened the most was Scared of the Dark. That
Okay.
encountered that a lot as a kid.
Okay.
So I would say that's probably the most, but like honestly, if I was that kid stuck in that room full of clown shit,
Yeah, fuck that noise.
I would probably be fucking pissed
I'm
scared
not,
too.
I'm not afraid of clowns, but when you get that creepy puppet look to it,
Right. Plus, if I saw one of the heads turning
Turn
as I was
as you walked
watching,
by.
walking by,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Not only that, did you notice that in that scene in particular that you get Richie is afraid of clowns, but then right in that instant he gets a fear of his own death,
Yep.
and that
Yep.
coffin
Yep.
Oh,
opens
yeah.
up, and like,
Most definitely.
that was perfect. Like that, the aspect of that room technically was fantastic.
See, I don't know if a lot of like the trailers spoiled me in a lot of this stuff because I saw the clown thing in the trailer. I saw a lot of the different kids' fears in the trailer. The one that I didn't see in the trailer was Bev's, and like her going into puberty, like cutting all of her hair off, going in the drain, and then that hair grabbing her and doing a whole Nightmare on Elm Street, just Carrie blood thing
then, like-
going up on the
And
ceiling.
then like into her mouth, open mouth.
That was my favorite by far. That was amazing.
My favorite fear, and I thought honestly, when I thought Pennywise was the scariest in this movie, was when Mike sees the hands
yeah.
coming out of that alleyway door.
That was awesome.
And the door opens and Pennywise is like swinging from a meat hook, his eyes glowing.
Yeah.
I thought that was the scariest Pennywise got in the whole movie. And don't get me wrong, some of the other Pennywise stuff was better,
Yeah.
but that was just creepy as
That's
fuck. Just
true.
swinging back and
That's
forth on
true.
that fucking meat hook. That was amazing.
I think I remember my back getting like sweaty
Yeah,
from
just
that.
like this is.
I was
not
just like,
good.
what the?
That's reminding me of like The Walking Dead, like Dead Inside Don't Come, like all the hands coming in from like the first season.
I
That
don't
type
even
of
care
shit.
about the hands when they open the door and you
No.
see Pennywise's like glowing eyes behind
Yeah.
the meat.
And there's that
curtain.
like he's just like chuckling, or just your stereotypic like
Yeah,
clown
doing
laugh.
So that kind of leads into my next point of this film is the sound. There's a lot of instances at this point where they play the kids motif so much, like you hear kids chuckling in the background.
God.
Every time it has like a good scene, you hear like kids like
laughing and like running
yeah.
around and laughing.
It's used so perfectly to create like it's kids laughing, but it's
because
used.
kids laughing is creepy.
It is in this movie in particular.
One of the negatives that I have of sound is the entire jump scare factor of
Yeah,
this
no,
movie.
that pissed
which,
me off so much.
Which my wife totally fell for a T for all of the jump scares. I just looked at her like, you know this is gonna happen.
That's why they do jump scares.
It's so bad
It
though.
doesn't matter if you know they're coming or not.
Jump scares are so just elementary.
What other
horror movies.
what other scare factor would you have wanted?
I'm sorry. When you have a character that's as terrifying as Pennywise, you don't need jump scares.
Yeah,
You don't think?
You don't
No.
need to grade him for that type of shit.
No,
you
not
really
at
don't.
all.
I don't
You
think
need
it's
just
degrading.
You need
Like the only thing
oh,
that
shit.
the only jump scare that I actually fell for,
was the bathroom.
yeah, during
Yeah,
Bev's scene where once she killed her dad and then it panned over like she was about to leave and then
Oh, and he's
Pennywise
right
jumped
there.
out. That's the main thing where it came out of nowhere, like, oh shit. Even though John, after the movie, he told me that was in the trailers.
I don't remember
Yeah,
seeing
so-
that, and
No,
I watched
no,
the trailers
it is.
again, and I still don't.
No,
just
I
her-
totally remember
It
it.
was just
I do.
her turning and him being like above her.
Right.
That still it
Was in
did
the
something
trailer.
for me.
Yeah.
That says something to the scare factor for me because I've totally forgot it was in the trailer. But once I saw the movie, still scared me. Saw the trailer again. It was in the trailer. I should have known it was coming, but I didn't.
None of them got me. Even the random one where like you were just saying the pan in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I was expecting that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I wasn't, and
Yeah, I
it
wasn't.
still didn't
No,
get
yeah,
me.
Just turning around.
I
Oh,
was-
there's Pennywise.
About how
That's
long I
gonna be
waited
it.
for blood to gush from the sinks. I knew that was in the trailer.
Yeah, that was so good though. I loved it. I'm a sucker for that type of shit.
Okay, can we talk about Ben's scare or his fear thing for a second? Because Ben is in the library, right? And the balloon comes by, which was fantastic. But did anyone else notice the old woman standing
Yeah.
like clear back in the
creepily getting
background?
closer.
Not even getting closer, getting a bigger grin on her face.
Yeah, no,
I missed
F
that part.
No, I saw
Oh,
that.
I saw that. I was like, "What the
That
fuck
was-
is going on?"
That was almost my
No.
what I was
That
going to
was-
state as my fear as a kid. But I've got to go with Brent. It's in the basement where
yeah. Oh no, I get you.
he comes and Pennywise just chases after him, and he barely gets him out the stairs.
That's
I thought I was the only
man,
one
that
that
is
saw
my
that.
that's
though,
my
and what-
fear.
If you watch it again, that
scene-
woman is just creepy as fuck.
well that
She's completely out of focus.
well that in part of the when you first see the legs look burnt and you see like the
Oh,
no
yeah.
head. Oh man,
Because the boy's head was in the tree.
that looked like practical effects.
See, that didn't scare me, but once Pennywise shows up, I was like,
Nah,
holy.
that was the
fuck.
one jump scare that got me was when he just
comes-
just
Yeah,
comes
I think-
running at him.
I mean, you're right, Jake. There's a lot of jump scares in this, but there's also a lot of other scares that come from
See what you
visuals alone.
Yeah.
Just the sense of what happens to like some of these nightmares and dreams and
Yeah.
characters, like that's scary too.
No,
Yeah,
that's
why
classic
you don't need,
scares.
That's why you don't need the jump scare.
Where he
Exactly
gets
my point.
Huge in the garage.
That
That's
was
good shit.
That was good.
but-
yeah, I didn't expect that at all.
Nope.
That was in the
It was
trailer
like,
too.
Oh,
That's
God,
another
that was
like,
not-
you know when a movie is good when you've seen numerous trailers for it, but you kind of forget it when you're watching it.
Well, you thought he was just on
Or-
the projector, and then
yeah,
he.
I don't.
Or-
I don't remember the giant part
No,
going
no.
out of
I
the.
don't remember
just
that
where the
either.
hair
Slides.
comes out, where hair
yeah.
I remember
starts-
that part.
Yeah,
in the
that's the only
trailer,
part
yeah.
they showed.
Yeah.
But that's a great is like what you were saying. If they
Yeah.
because they showed a lot of the jump scares kind of
Yeah.
in the
I thought-
trailers.
I thought that part was awesome, where he just like got huge, but
Oh,
then
man.
he went away
Man,
once you
now
opened up
talking
the
about
garage
this movie is
door.
making me want to watch it again
Yeah.
right now.
I kind of want to
See,
see this movie again.
I said that.
Yeah,
at
no,
work today.
talking
wife.
with
I
you
need to
guys
hate it.
about
I
it,
need to
it's
go see it
making
again.
it's making my score go up.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even think the jump scares is that degrading towards it because I feel like that I appreciate.
I see.
that.
I see
I
both.
just-
I see both sides of this argument, but
I just felt
in,
they weren't necessary.
in the 2017 film, I don't see the jump scares being a derogatory part of the film.
no. Well, and, okay.
It's
so,
just part of the.
It's part of the horror landscape now.
yeah, it's part of the
Exactly.
2010s.
Exactly.
That's what kind of like made the jump scares thing in every horror movie.
That's
Come
okay.
on.
That's
Thanks,
okay with me
Grudge.
because I'd rather have that than more of him, just more like creepy chasing scenes.
I would rather have that. That's more creepy to me than just like cheap jump scares.
But I feel like it'd be too much at that point, where he's just like going crazy and he's running up to him at a fast pace.
So we talked a lot here. There's a lot of elements that went into your guys' opinions. We've dissected characters, technical performances, actors, whatever. Let's go around the table and give our ratings out of 5 stars.
Okay. Who
Let's
are we
start.
starting with?
We're gonna start with Anthony this time.
All right.
Awesome.
5 stars, 5 being the best.
God, it was really good. I really enjoyed this one, and we hit it already. I want to see it again. It's one I'll buy. I like what Brent said. It's a good one. I don't know if I'd give it best of the year, but man, for a horror movie, I don't usually give horror movies it, but I've got to go 4.5. It was very good. It was and I love the storyline. I know it's a reboot of an original and one of Stephen King's books, but from what I've heard of people who read the book, it matches up pretty close to the book, which is always good for the readers. I enjoyed all the scares of it. It's kind of hit all of my fears. As a personal Pennywise child in that movie,
Yeah.
I've got to do it high. I've never given anything that high on the show yet, but 4.5, I got to hit it.
Brent?
There it is.
I want to give it a 5. Like I feel like I can't. But for some
Like you
fucking reason,
shouldn't.
You can do whatever you want, Brent.
like if there was a 4 points, oh my god. So like I said, I've been very disappointed in the past years with scary movies. Yeah, for me, I have to give it a 5.
Okay.
It was fantastic.
Kevin?
I'd give it a 4,
Okay.
which is still pretty high for me. A lot of the things we talked about, the CGI in a couple places really took me out of it. The ending was a little bit too cartoony, but don't even get me started on the whole blood pact. But I mean, I understand where it's going and where it came from, and they did a nice job keeping everything as close as they could to the books. But the ending was just a little too cartoony, and the CGI sometimes took me out of it. It's got to give it a 4.
I really want to see if once I watch it again, if it still stays that high for me.
If it holds up.
If it comes down.
My main thing, like I've only done reviews for a couple movies for this podcast so far, but my after talking to you guys, I'm getting off my 1990 It high horse. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5, but
So,
I think that's the highest I'm gonna
what-
go.
That's going to jump into my part. I had not seen the miniseries. I have not read the book, so I can't compare it to the book. Seeing this movie for the first time, it's like almost a clean slate for me. Which is why I'm going to give it a 4.5. Here's why. Brand new material to me. I didn't know any of the kids' fears, so when the fears happened, it's brand new to me, and it got to me. Like those fears were scary, and this is what you want from a horror film. This also, very few films for me have pacing where you can jump from joke, then you jump right into a terrifying scene. Like that's a hard transition to make, and this movie does it so well. Technical proportions, everything, like CGI doesn't bother me. Story works great for me. Character progression works great for me. So this movie, especially, I'm not a big horror fan. You guys know that, but this movie didn't strike me as legit horror as it was just playing into your fears, and the overall motif here is growing up and getting over your fears, and it works so well.
It's relatable.
Yeah. No.
So you give it a 4.5. Why not a 5?
1 out of 5.
Yeah, I didn't hear any negatives out of you.
Why
You
not
really
a
liked
perfect
it.
movie, John? Why isn't this the perfect scary movie for you?
It's long. It's a 2-hour and 15-minute movie.
Oh, that didn't bother me at
And-
all.
Oh no,
I didn't feel like 2 hours and 15 minutes for
by.
me.
There was
I
a
thought
few,
it flew by as well.
it pacing, like I said, pacing was good, but like each character gets their own segment far as their fear, right? Each character, as
Yeah.
a losers group, they get a devoted scene.
Yeah, and there's 7 kids, so that takes a while.
Yeah, I think knowing that, maybe you cut back on portions of this movie because I don't know. I just think it was a little bit too long.
See, I thought the jumping around to each character and having their own separate fear actually helped me. What I'm glad they didn't do the whole movie with the kids together,
Yeah.
because that would have taken away from the kids being together.
Yeah.
For me.
No, I thought like what Kevin was saying is perfect. They go from like a single kid's fear to kind of like 2 or 3 of them gang thing type thing, where maybe they're building suspension. Like there's like nothing's going to happen in that scene, but there's a fuck ton of suspense going on. You're just like super tight shoulders and stuff like that, and then nothing happens. Kind of like we're in the sewers. Nothing happens, but then later that kid comes around. and then that
nothing happens because individually they have their own individual things they're scared of. But as a group, just like in the movie,
They're less
once
scared.
Yeah, once
Right.
you're as a group, there's nothing Pennywise can feed off of you. That's why in like the last third of the movie, there's not a lot of scares because as a group, you're supposed to be really strong.
Yeah, I know, but for me, when in the sewer scene, I was still like tense because I was just kind of expecting something to happen. Still,
See that main fight in the end? I didn't expect anything to happen.
Not anything scary anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I expected him to conquer the.
no, I
theater.
mean, and that's hard to do when, especially where one guy Eddie's getting vomited on. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you."
No, the main reason I'm going in 4 instead of a 3.5 is because of the children cast. There's not a weak link in here that I can think of.
And some of them were exceptional.
The majority of them were exceptional.
Bev was exceptional.
Yeah.
In this movie.
No one was bad, which is amazing if you have to hire seven or eight.
Roughly.
Yeah, 7 or 8 different kids, and none of them totally like tore apart from anybody else.
See,
That's amazing.
to me, Mike was a little wooden, but that's only because he got like 100% less screen time than the rest of them.
I'm not going to be nitpicky. If they
No.
worked for me, they worked, and all of them totally did their job.
Okay, so before we wrap up this segment, there's 2 questions I want to ask you guys. The first one being, let's go over what do we want from what do we want from this sequel? Because we know it's going to be definitely a sequel following this, because the movie ends with the chapter 1 thing. We know that's going to play to adulthood.
It's already been greenlit.
Yeah, do we expect to get the same? You guys hope we're obviously hoping for the same feel, but it's not going to be that feel because we're getting adults in this second film. What do you guys hope for this movie to take next?
I've never read the book, but I hope Kevin can kind of jump off of this. In the book, they have flashbacks to when they are kids,
Yes.
when they're
So,
adults in
yeah,
the second half of the book.
It's not even in the second half of the book. It's almost all the way throughout. So
Okay.
it's kind of jumping back and forth.
And this movie doesn't do that at all.
No.
No, the second half will do this.
No, even the book.
No, the second half probably won't. The second half will
No?
be
Just all adults?
them getting back together and trying to
Yeah,
do it.
I think the beginning of the book starts off with somebody reminiscing about or
No, the
remembering.
beginning of the book starts out with Georgie.
See,
Does it? Okay.
one of the main
From what I remember.
one of the main reasons why I liked this movie is because not only were the kids afraid of Pennywise, the kids were afraid of different versions of adults that were in their life. So when these kids become adults, I'm kind of curious to see where that branches out to, like how like some of them won't want to go face Pennywise because they have their own problems when they're adults.
Other thoughts?
The book is set up different than this movie, obviously. This one is just all kids. The book, the way that you get the kids' story, from what I remember, is they're trying to come together as adults. One of them is trying to round them all up. And that's when he goes to each individual person, that's when you get like their experience.
Yes, the Mike character. I think Mike's the one who stays in
It is
town.
Mike, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he goes and tries to round them all up, and that's where you get all the flashbacks. That's where you get all the kids' storyline, and then they go into the whole thing that they did together as the kids, and then it goes into the adult stuff.
It'll be interesting to see, number one, how much of a success this is in the box office. Number two, if that success transfers over to a bigger A-list cast for the sequel
Just
for the
based-
I almost
adults.
hope it doesn't.
Just based off our discussion alone, part of this huge appeal that we like this movie so much was the kid aspect. You're going to get a very little part of that in the sequel. It's going to be a heavily adult figure.
You're gonna get hardly any of it.
In the Tim Curry TV version, the adult part was by far the worst part.
So how do you keep the momentum going from this one into the adult perspective?
It's going to be tough.
Exactly.
They have to have a lot of flashbacks. I
Not only
think
They won't.
Not only
I don't
that,
think they will.
I think they will.
not only that, based off this movie alone, the bar is set high. People are going to have high expectations for the second one.
Yeah, I know, which doesn't really set good for chapter 2 of it.
No. But anyway, other thoughts on what we want from a sequel here?
The Pennywise / villain spider better be a lot better than the 80s version.
Most definitely. That, like I said, like the children's part of it is what I got scared of. When they became adults, I just kind of lost interest.
Tuned out.
It was. Yeah.
I hope Bill Skarsgård sticks around for the sequel.
He will.
I
would.
think
I would
he'll be
expect
the
as
only
much.
one that does.
Yeah, I
obviously.
can see that. And I hope the casting is as good for the adults as it was for the kids. That's
I
gonna be tough.
I really think you got to go with unknowns. I don't think you can go.
so, too.
I don't think you can go with people like. You don't want
Yeah.
a fucking Brad Pitt playing Bill.
You don't want Jessica Chastain as
No.
Bev?
No, I want Amy Adams.
Adams.
and it's obviously
Adams
Amy
as
Adams.
Bev?
Probably.
No, Amy Adams would be bad.
No.
No, I think Kevin's right with the random people. That way, it feels you get an extra sense of learning this person because you learn it as a kid, and then you learn them again as an adult how they've changed.
And I hope that from a production standpoint, I would think the director would do this, would nail the head on again if they kept him around.
I feel like they need Kevin Hart as the homeschool kid, otherwise it's gonna fail.
How did Mike go from the tallest one in the group to the shortest?
Right.
All of a sudden.
No.
Puberty's a bitch.
It'll be interesting to see how they interpret the second half of this book / So, all right, and the last question I want to ask you guys before we move on from it is pulled in $13 million on its opening night Thursday. What's your guys' predictions on overall first weekend haul?
So originally, like 2 weeks ago, I guessed $50 million for it. I'm gonna jump up a little bit higher. I'm gonna do $60 million. I think that's the highest I'm gonna go.
Does Thursday count?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
I say 80.
Until Sunday.
You say 80?
Damn,
That's generous.
Brent.
That's
Yeah, 80.
generous.
I think about 52.
52? Anthony?
$1.
This isn't the closest without going
Price is
over.
right.
Price is wrong, bitch.
The price is wrong. bitch.
Price is wrong, Bobby.
You know what? I still love this movie. You're still gonna catch a bunch of high school kids to go see this too.
They're gonna get me to pay twice.
They're
I'm
gonna
not
give me to
going
pay
over
twice, too.
60. I'm gonna backtrack and say 56.
Okay, that's fine. I think the beginning of NFL, like the first big
There's a lot
first
of
week
stuff.
of NFL season starts 6 weeks.
Yeah, what's the Sunday
College
night game,
football.
Yeah, college on Saturday, that's fine, but 60 is the max I'm gonna do.
I'm going to do 65. I'll play the middle guy here.
You better.
So, come back for our next movie podcast. We'll see who came up on top after this first weekend's opening for it. Needless to say, here to recap and end this segment is go see this movie.
Yeah.
It's
See it in the
Please.
theaters.
Yeah, see it in theaters. It deserves your $10. Let's move on to our final segment, and personally, one of my favorites, and that is trivia, movie trivia tonight. Our host is Brent Harris. We'll be providing our clips, and we're going to do another. Are we going to do another 4-clipper tonight, Brent?
Yep.
Woo!
Brent, nah, the podcast guy.
We're gonna make this a thing.
Gotta make sure I have my.
Sure, he did it first. It's already a
It was
thing.
amazing.
All right, Brent, want to hit us with our first clip?
All right. Clip numero uno.
First in line, right away. I'm a little scratchy today, so we've got to be sensitive with it.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. I reckon. I'm tired of you cutting in line. Man, shut up. Chill out. Gotta know what to do, man.
Cool Hand Luke.
Real.
Hey, don't be squatting
No?
up in here. Both of us
Man,
do it. Like me alone.
Billy, or Waterboy?
Gentlemen, there's only one law around here, and that's me. You guys want to learn tough lessons here? I'll give you a tough guy.
Come on, put it in here.
Hey!
Oof. Oofta. We're going to need some context here, Brent.
Yikes.
All right. 2003.
Nope.
Did not expect that.
Nope.
Adventure comedy drama
What?
directed by Andrew Davis.
I don't even
Nothing.
All right. We're going into actors and actresses. John Voight.
Was that him as a country guy?
John Voight, 2003.
Mm-hmm. Give it a second.
Whoa.
Fuck.
Okay. Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
And John Voight.
What?
Heartbreakers?
What movie do they play country folk?
John Voight and Sigourney Weaver.
He's going to give it away with this next one, probably.
Yep. Well, there's one more actor. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Holes!
Digging up holes.
Damn, I knew I'd heard that before.
Fucking had not seen that movie.
I love
like,
me that
ever.
holes, yep. Jesus.
All right, Jason.
I don't remember any of that.
Jake's on the board with 1 point. Good clip, Brent. That was random as hell.
That was. I was not expecting that shit.
All right. Clip 2.
Your heart's beating faster. It's getting a little harder to breathe. Your neurobiological system is telling it to run, but your knees are too weak to move. And it's too late anyway. Pores in your skin have already opened up,
Splice.
secreting an imperceptible amount of pheromones into the air. And all you can think about is when it's gonna kill you.
Whoa.
Jesus.
You are
What
really
was
coming
that
out of left
at the
field.
end, bud?
I didn't expect any of you to get that off the clip. I mean, I would
Great.
I'd be amazed.
Great.
All right, 2013, newer one.
Predators?
Action adventure sci-fi.
Really?
There's a lot of giveaways here, so we'll go with actors David Denman.
Don't know who that
You
is.
just pulled the first one that you didn't know, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, David Denman.
He played.
In 2013,
Bruce.
he played.
Okay, the director was M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, was it?
The Happening?
Nope.
No, it was.
Lady in the Water.
Nope.
Signs.
Nope.
It's 2013. The Visit.
No.
No. Oh, is it fucking Last Airbender?
No.
No, God.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
No. Nothing still?
God dang
No, this is
it.
gonna piss me off. now.
I was like, part of it you guys are gonna take it from.
Yeah.
Sixth Sense, Unbreakable,
Nope.
The Village, Signs,
Gonna go through his whole filmography here.
It's
Not The Happening. It's the one after. It's not Lady in the Water.
no, I know what it is. It's one
Then you
with.
better say something.
You guys are gonna take it from
All
me.
right. Give
Just
us the
say
next thing.
something. No, don't give us anything, Brent. We have M. Night Shyamalan.
John, just
we
do
should...
it.
Fine. It's the one with Will Smith.
Oh, it's
After
Earth.
Earth!
Yes.
You guys, I knew it. I knew
Yes.
Who got that?
Fuck if I know.
Well,
Oh,
you're
no.
supposed to be judging this
it. It
shit.
was. It was Kevin.
Woo,
You
John!
yelled it.
Thanks for the get.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
The last
Never
part
saw
was
that
Jaden
movie.
Smith, wasn't it? Going,
Yeah.
Never
Yeah. I was
saw
like,
that movie.
I was debating between Will Smith and M. Night Shyamalan, so I'll go M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
It's one of his
Yeah.
bottom tier.
No, that's
Yeah,
a good one
you're
to go off of.
Yeah.
Lord.
Kevin's on the board with 1 point. Jake's on the board with 1 point.
guess.
Brent, it's time for our third clip.
All right. Clip number 3.
like people. And I love. And that's all I
Couldn't you just stay dead?
Isabel.
You're just mad because Mom would rather sleep with Uncle Tommy than you.
Isabel. Why would you say that?
Mom and Uncle Tommy have sex all the time.
Enough.
Beetlejuice. Oh my god.
Oh.
Death Becomes Her?
Nope.
Oh no.
I'm gonna need
What year is this, Brent?
2015.
2009.
Okay.
Isabel.
I feel like I've seen this movie.
It is a drama thriller.
Great.
What lies beneath?
Directed by Jim Sheridan.
Nope.
Oh. Okay.
Which one doesn't give it away?
Right. No, we'll go with Tobey Maguire.
2009 drama
Seabiscuit?
thriller. The Good Shepherd.
No.
Damn it.
Tobey Maguire.
Nope.
Natalie Portman.
Black Swan.
Nope.
No. 2009. Why don't I know this?
Where the heart is?
No.
Natalie Portman, Tobey Maguire.
In 2009.
I should know this.
We
I really should.
We all should know this,
I
probably.
really should.
He's got another actor in there. I know he
I
does.
do.
And it's going to really give it
It
away.
has a little girl in it. We know that.
No, that was Natalie Portman.
Okay.
No, the girl wasn't Natalie. No, there's no.
The
Natalie,
mom was
She's
Natalie
in the
Portman.
clip. Yeah, I'll go through the scene that I just played. They're at a dinner table. The girl is crunching a balloon and is pissing everybody off. Natalie Portman is the mom. Tobey Maguire's the dad. And Tobey Maguire says enough, grabs the balloon, pops it, and then they get angry.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen
I
this
don't think I've
movie.
ever seen this movie.
Okay. Last actor is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Tobey Maguire.
There-
Fuck.
oh, I remember this movie.
Fuck.
Oh,
Fuck. It's not Brothers. Is it
It is
Brothers?
Brothers.
Yeah!
Oh, damn
I was
it.
thinking of Warrior, but it's Brothers.
Dude, you fucking
I
have
seen that
Brothers
movie.
out there.
I have seen that movie. I don't own it. It's not that great,
You do?
but I have seen that.
I'm pretty sure you own it.
Probably do.
All right.
You have a steelbook of it.
All right, so Jake has 2 points. Kevin with 1. Me and Anthony
Yes.
are just sucking.
Hi.
So one clip left.
It says he represents the Tanaka clan. You don't look like Tanaka.
Shidoshi Tanaka, train me.
What's the whole up?
He says Senzo Tanaka is his Shidoshi.
What's the difference if Bruce Springsteen is a Shidoshi?
If Senzo Tanaka is his Shidoshi, then show us the dim mak.
Rush Hour.
The hell is a Dumac?
Go with it, too.
Death touch.
Bom, bom, bom. Enter the Wu-Tang.
What the fuck?
Incorrect.
Mortal Kombat.
No.
Man with the Iron Fist.
No.
Damn it.
Enter
Man with the Iron Fist 2.
No.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Nope.
We're just all playing race.
House of Flying Daggers.
Nope.
Damn it, I know.
Last
you're-
Airbender.
No. It is 1988.
Oh, Karate Kid.
No.
Game of Death.
No.
Fist of Fury.
No. Action, biography, drama.
Kung Pao, Enter the Chicken.
No.
Biography. Ooh.
Dragon the Bruce Lee story.
I
Nope.
was just about to say that.
Action biography?
You son of a
88?
bitch. You son of a bitch.
In 88?
All right, let's start naming some details.
The only martial arts people knew in '88 was Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. That's it.
Missing somebody else.
I'm not.
Jet Li.
Chow Yun Fat. Hard boiled.
No.
Not biography.
John Woo.
Directed by Newt Arnold.
No one cares.
Who the fuck is that? I don't know. right.
John Clan Van Damme is in it.
No.
Bloodsport. Fuck yeah!
Was he?
John Van Gogh or
Jean-Claude Van Damme was in it.
Yes. So
It was Frank Dukes. It was a biography.
Yeah.
I forgot about that shit.
Bloodsport was a
Yeah,
biography?
Yeah, Frank Dukes actually did Bloodsport.
Yikes.
The guy he played.
That's 2 clues I gave to you. Tonight.
You sure did. And I
Way to
thank-
go, John.
And I thank you, John.
Do you have a tiebreaker
We got
then?
a fucking tiebreaker.
Yeah, you need one.
All right.
Fifth and final tiebreaker clip of the night.
That'd be
Brent.
the stupidest movie you know.
God, we can't go after it, can we?
All right.
We can't go after it, can we?
No.
No,
we're
so
done.
it's just between you two, right?
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
All
We
right.
can't give clues either.
This is bad.
We're done.
Right. You ready?
Please, John.
I'm pretty sure you guys will get it.
John, you can go ahead and give clues.
You will probably get it off the clip.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Him, that can't be William Wallace.
Braveheart.
Prettier than this man.
You would.
That guy's in a lot of stuff. That guy that
Yeah.
Steven. Oh no! I'm supposed to drop the mic. Jake.
Shut him up,
I threw the mic.
Oh, okay.
Wow, a comeback win through John's help. Well done.
Hey, whatever. I'll take it. Thanks, John.
I never would have gotten the title.
Damn, 2 wins for Kevin.
I'm just gonna say, last time you were on, when we had Fault of Our Stars,
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't know who would have won that one. That was a goddamn nail biter.
It was.
Well, that has been episode 7 of Super Media All Stars. We thank you for listening on our movie podcast this week. Guys, anything you want to plug last minute?
Follow us on Super Media All Stars on Facebook, SMAS Pod on Twitter. Follow myself on Instagram at Steelbook Obsessed.
You can find us on the Mac services under Super Media All Stars. Brant, how are we looking on Spotify these days?
Just waiting for approval any day now.
Sweet.
Those rat bastards.
Sweet, we're looking forward to that. A few things I want to plug on the gaming side. We'll be getting our copy of Samus Metroid, Samus Returns next week. Also be getting the Samus Metroid 3DS. We'll do an unboxing of that next week.
And them amiibos.
And them amiibos.
Squishy amiibo.
Will be coming in next week as well, so be looking forward to that video. We'll probably return with our movie podcast next week. I want to thank the All Stars for joining me tonight. Thank you guys.
It was a pleasure.
Kevin,
Again.
thanks for coming back. Well, I think if every time you see a movie with us, we might as well just bring you back in.
I'm for it.
Perfect.
No big releases coming up till what?
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
And that's 2 weeks
Couple
away?
weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so be looking forward to that. Otherwise, thanks for joining us this time around. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Game over, man. Game over.
Bye-bye.
I am out of here.